I'll start off, there's a big workbook and we're going to power through, but I'll start off giving you a little introduction on what anxiety is and where it came from. Now, back in the day, I wasn't there obviously, but in caveman times, we had two basic instincts. It was preservation, procreation. So we wanted to stay alive, we wanted to reproduce, and that was it. And that's the birthplace of every single emotion we have today. It comes from a root of self-preservation and procreation. So in the caveman times, how that worked, and obviously it worked well, we're all still here, it was a simpler time. The desire, the instinct for self-preservation would have drove him out into very dangerous situations. In those situations, his stress response kept him alive. Let's say the saber-toothed tiger, the jury's still out whether they existed with cavemen, but for the purpose of the example, the saber-toothed tiger comes out, the caveman gets a stress response. Stress response is a release of cortisol and adrenaline, and it takes 90 seconds to rise and leave your body completely. During the stress response, certain physiological changes take place. Your eyesight is sharpened and becomes tunnel vision. Your prefrontal cortex, which would have been minimal at the time, virtually shuts down, so you're not going to write a poem, you're not going to write a song, you're not going to remember that you didn't unplug the iron. You are completely present in that moment. The chemical release, several things happen. Your digestive system shuts down completely and sometimes will expel, hence the expression, I nearly pooped myself. But that comes from a real life physiological reaction when you're presented with extreme danger. Your palms sweat, they still do today, that's retraction getting away. All of these things happen. Your body becomes a survival machine. Now, in that state, you're faced with three decisions. Today we call it fight, flight or freeze. You're stronger. You hear stories in the news where women lifted cars off children and stuff like that. You are physically many times stronger for that 90 seconds. You're aggressive, which is why we'll talk today about why we need aggression. You know, being rid of aggression is not what we are supposed to have aggression, but we are supposed to understand where it's from, where it comes from. So if you can't fight, and all these decisions are made in microseconds, if you can't fight, you run away. If you can't run away, you will freeze. The freeze response you don't hear so much of today, but if you had a gunman break into your house and you heard a gun cut, and you had no choice but to hide in the wardrobe, you would be able to become so still as to be imperceptible. Your breathing would be all but non-existent, you would be motionless, and it would happen automatically. It wouldn't be like if I asked you now to stay as still as you can and you get that little wiggle going. It wouldn't be like that. You would become statuesque. And it's purely for survival. Back in those days, when that danger passed, the caveman would return back to his natural state. And if you want to see that at work today, look at animals. Like our little cat next door comes in, she sits outside the garden, she's got a crush on me, she sits staring at me. But if I open the door suddenly, she's gone. She doesn't wait and go, which one is it? She's gone. Her stress response kicks in. And she's full of all of those chemicals required. She's faster, she's over the fence in a way that looks impossible. But if she recognises that it's me, she arches her back, her tail will shake, and she'll walk back towards me calmly. I haven't researched it, I believe the arching of the back and the shaking of the tail is a way to release that excess of cortisol and adrenaline, and she returns to a relaxed state and walks back to me. What's happened then is as the caveman became a farmer, where we went from hunter-gatherer to settled, we started to develop the idea of possessions. This is mine, that's yours, you can't have mine. When that started, the chapter in mind would have been born. What we learn today, we call it hang. But the chapter in mind is the bit that tells you there's still danger. If I imagine a saber-toothed tiger, or if I'm presented with a saber-toothed tiger, my body recognises it with exactly the same ferocity. The threat is just as real. It switches on the fight, flight, freeze response. It floods me with adrenaline and cortisol. Now, that's great in the sense of the caveman. works brilliantly. But in the sense of the guy lying in bed staring at the ceiling, it's not very good at all, because remember, it shuts down my digestive system, it shuts down all the creative sides of my brain, it shuts down my rational thinking, it shuts down all of that. So if you jet that forward today into your own life, and if you know you're sitting here and you've got an exam coming, the exam is the saber-toothed tiger. You're lying there, you're thinking of nothing else. You are in permanent fight, flight or freeze response, and your body is in a state of self-preservation. Taking it even further, where we began to interact in communities. If I'm a farmer here and you're a farmer there, and I don't like you very much, and you don't like me very much because you'd see me looking at your corn, then you're lying there at night thinking of me. And I'm lying here at night thinking of you. And a simple fence may give us the peace of mind we're craving. You take a world of 7 billion people and a device in our pocket that tells us we need to be liked, and you can see the amount of chattering minds that we're to deal with every day. And in the early days, the chattering mind would have told me he's wrong. As time developed, it started to tell me I'm wrong. It started to turn back on me. It started to tell me I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never be this, I'll never be that. We've saber-toothed tigers everywhere, and every one of them is a connotation of what today we'll call Hank. And every one of them creates that stress response. And the stress response is part of the autonomic nervous system. It's designed to go on, off, on, off, on, off. And you never ever want to be without it. If I'm driving home and a kid steps out in front of me, I always want to slam those brakes without wondering if I like the kid or not. I don't want to have to make a decision. I haven't time. And it will happen automatically. If I'm by the beach, pigeon flies at me or a seagull flies at me, big pigeon, you know, I'll duck. I don't want to go, he's got a turn. I don't want to play chicken with the seagull. I don't think you pull away. I want to duck. I don't want a face full of feathers. So we need our stress responses. But what we need to understand is that when we can't switch off our stress response, it becomes anxiety. And that's the birthplace of the anxiety society we live in today. We are programmed to see danger, but our schooling system hasn't included that in any of their curriculums. It's given us heads full of facts, bodies full of adrenaline and cortisol, and sent us out into the world in the hope that knowledge of the Battle of Hastings is going to help me not pass out outside the interview room. And it doesn't work. And today, you know, I'm not going to make it a seminar on the schooling system, but today I struggle to understand how you could tell a child his whole education system is based on his ability to retain facts and regurgitate them when he's got Google in his pocket. You know, what does a child or a young adult or a teenager or a person of need to remember really today? It would be better if we teach children why they feel how they feel, how they can not feel how they feel, why it's okay to feel how they feel, and everything else, leave it.